Welcome back. Do you ever struggle in your life to know if God is answering your prayers? And would you like to know a simple technique to help you hear God speaking to you in your life? Well, I have been a believer my whole life. I have prayed since I was little. But sometimes I struggle to know if God was really listening or hearing my prayers, and I wanted to hear His voice in my life. I started a practice 3 years ago that has completely changed my relationship with God and my ability to hear and listen to His voice. I'm excited to share this with you because doing this practice has helped me gain confidence in moving forward with the decisions and opportunities in my life, and help me feel a more clear connection with my Father. And so I hope it will do the same for you. Hello, I'm excited to share another wholeness hack with you. This wholeness hack relates specifically and especially to the spiritual body. This is a tool that I have used over the last 3 or 4 years that has changed my life and changed my ability and my confidence in what I can create and do in my life. I have been a believer my whole life. I've always grown up saying prayers to God and believing that He hears me and that He answers my prayers. But this little technique has taken it to a whole new level for me of trusting His voice in my life and learning to hear His messages for me and truly feeling the inspiration and love that He has for me in my life. So I was challenged a few years ago to start writing letters to God. And so I bought myself a journal, and I found that I still say my prayers, but in the mornings I like to sit down with my journal and find a quiet minute to write to Him. And then the beautiful part is when you're done writing and asking and sharing with God, then you sit and listen and receive a message back from Him. I just wanted to share a few of the answers that I've gotten in my life. I had a project that I was doing. I wanted to build a wellness center where people could come and get help with different holistic techniques. And yet that was huge for me. That was a bigger project than I had ever done, a bigger business at that point than I have ever created. This is prior to the Wholeness Network. And so I had a lot of doubts and fears, and I had a lot of unknowns in my life. And so this is my journal from that time, and I just want to read you a few of my questions and His answers. On this particular day, we had a chance to meet with some business analysts, I would say, and they were giving us all sorts of advice on what we should do or shouldn't do, or what would work or what didn't work or what couldn't work. And yet in my heart, I had a feeling that I knew a better answer for some of the questions. But I didn't dare trust myself. I was worried about that. And because they had more experience than me, I didn't know if I could just trust my intuition. So I asked about that. The advisors have told us all of these things. Please help me know if moving forward is still the right thing to do. The answer that came that morning was, peace be unto thy soul. Peace. Allow your heart and mind to be filled with expansion. Fear will limit your ability to see. And the message went on, but those few sentences were so significant to me because I could feel what was happening in the creation process was in my fear of what those advisors were saying. I was starting to shut down. I was starting to close up. I was starting to lose my connection to my own inspiration and my own whisperings. And so, first of all, that God would just send me peace to help me relax, help me overcome my fears, to invite me to allow my heart and mind to be filled with expansion instead of the restriction I was feeling. He helped me open back up and say, wait a minute, there is a bigger picture here. There are more answers here. I can feel now that there are more possibilities. But then this very powerful statement that fear will limit your ability to see. That's true, right? Truth. Another time I had some more questions. I call this my journal of doubt and fear because that's pretty much what all my questions were about, all my doubts and all my fears at that time. I've since have other journals that focus on learning other things. But this was what I wrote to him. Dear Father, every morning I come to thee so worried and downtrodden. I feel bad for my own lack of experience or lack of faith that causes me to worry so much. It is as if my subconscious goes to work all night processing my every fear about this project, and I wake up feeling surrounded by doubt. And so this was his answer that morning. He said, dear child, receive is an important word. Allow is another. Just as you should not pollute the project with your doubt or fear, do not slow down the project either by rejecting help. Be open to all forms of giving. This is how the angels can meet your needs, through the arms of another person. Open your heart to the vibration of receiving and hold the space for those miracles to come. Live in gratitude and joy as you watch the angels at work. And I hope you feel just in those two simple examples, the contrast, the absolute contrast, the vibration of that fear and emotion that I held. And as I just put that on the page for God, please help me, I'm struggling. And yet the peace and the serenity that comes through his answer and the wisdom, not to pollute the project with my doubt or my fear. I thought of that statement so many times over the next year as we continue to build our space and work toward moving in. So there are so many beautiful nuggets that can come, so much sweet direction that can fill your life as you take the time to ask God your questions, to sit and listen to his answers, to open your heart, to believe that he can speak to you. I know that he can. We are his children. I know he has a great desire to be a part of each one of our lives. And as we listen to these messages and fill our mind and our heart with wisdom from heaven, our lives will elevate to a better place. So let me know if you write a letter to God. I want to hear about it. I hope that you enjoy this wholeness hack, and I hope that this helps you to live life whole.